So a question I recently got was, um, in today's market, how do you make yourself stay relevant and profitable? Um, and it's a really loaded question, because there's a lot of things you can do to stay marketable or to stay relevant and stay profitable in the market. There's a lot of things you can do that will make sure that you do not stay relevant in the market today. But fuel costs are always a big thing. Fuel consumption. That's the thing that 90% of the people talk about. Um, and that's a huge deal. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. If you can get your truck to go from 5 miles a gallon to 9 miles a gallon, you're going to dang near double your profits instantly. So, at least double your savings instantly. So, it makes sense to focus on that. But the other thing to think about is, where is everybody wanting to run? It's winter time now. Um, it's just the intro to winter, and a lot of guys are saying, you know what, we're staying below I-40. We ain't going above it for nothing. And I get it. I hate above I-40. I hate the snow. I hate all of the things that come with it. I left Alaska to get away from this horrible white crap on the ground. But at the end of the day, wherever there's a lot of trucks, there isn't a lot of money. So you have to be willing to look outside of your box, to get outside of your truck, and outside of your mind, and go, what am I going to be willing to do to make this money? Am I going to be willing to push through and, make sure that be willing to put on chains if I have to put on chains, or, sit in a snowstorm for a night if that's what it takes. You have to figure out what you're willing to do, how far you're willing to push yourself in order to become profitable or stay profitable and relevant. By saying going places where other guys don't want to go, that's not saying go to like Florida. Florida, you're going to make $2.50 a mile going into, but you're only making $1 a mile coming out. So you're really just rolling into the negative there. But you could take the same miles, say going to like Baltimore or something like that, where you're getting paid $2.25 a mile or $2.15 a mile, and then you're going to make $2.05, $2.10 a mile on your way out. And say say they got you a run over to Washington that's paying that $2.10 a mile. That's a big run. And coming out of Washington right now is doing fairly well, weirdly. So it's, look at where you're going to and what the rates coming out of there are. That's a really big part of your route planning. A lot of people think that the route planning is just about figuring out how you're getting from point A to point B, but it's also about figuring out what you're doing when you leave point B to get to point C. You have to be thinking two loads ahead in order to stay, on top of things. If you're working with a dispatcher, make sure that your dispatcher understands that what your goal is, so that they can start planning beforehand, to get you to another profitable zone. Most dispatchers, that's their goal. A lot of new people a lot of new dispatchers don't really understand that. So if you've got a dispatcher who isn't grasping that, then maybe it's time for a new dispatcher. But the big thing is like I said, just look at where other people aren't, but where the rates are good, because the less trucks that are there, the higher the rates tend to be. That's why Florida is so easy or so hard to get out of, because so many people are willing to go there, so they can pay pennies coming out of there. So that's just my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. But that's how I managed to make money here at Super Ego Holding. I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions or comments, throw it down below. And if it's something that gets asked enough, or something that piques my interest, then I'll make another video on it. So until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. Stay profitable out there. Take care.